Grey's Anatomy Season 21, Episode 15 Review. I'm glad the characters are showing off their silly sides in the show's funniest episode in a long time warning. This article contains spoilers for Grey's Anatomy Season 21 Episode 15. Grey's Anatomy's characters get a reprieve from drama in a refreshingly light episode. Still, Season 21's Episode 15 moves one key storyline forward, with Lucas finally learning if he'll have to repeat his intern year. That resolution comes about when Catherine volunteers in the Grey Sloan Clinic, giving Lucas the opportunity to show off his skills as her intern. Meanwhile, Blue and Simone try to sort out their roommate issues in the wake of Micah's departure, while Taryn and Ben find some common ground as they help a young patient. Finally, Jules and Winston team up after a window washer dressed as a superhero crashes through a window in the PEDS unit. Going into Lucas' storyline with Catherine, I was sure he'd try to impress her with a flashy surgery. And indeed, that's nearly what happens, as he finds a new surgical technique for his patient, and Bailey gives him permission to scrub in. Ultimately, though, the show wisely takes a subtler approach, with Lucas recognizing his young female patient is uncomfortable with him operating on her, and passing the case to Bailey instead. Over the years, Catherine has been one of Grey's Anatomy's most polarizing characters, but it's refreshing to see her softer side in this episode, both through her kindness to Lucas and the patient. It's a great subversion of audience expectations that still has the intended result, with Catherine impressed by Lucas' understanding of his patient, leading her to pass him through with his classmates. Over the years, Catherine has been one of Grey's Anatomy's most polarizing characters, but it's refreshing to see her softer side in this episode, both through her kindness to Lucas and the patient. On the surface, Taryn, Ben, Blue, and Simone arguing with each other would seem pretty inconsequential to their character arcs, and the episode has a lot of fun with Ben and Taryn especially. Seeing them dressed as superheroes is incredibly sweet, and I definitely chuckled as their enthusiasm for the idea started to wane. At the end of the day, though, the storyline becomes more about Ben feeling self-conscious that his frequent career changes mean he hasn't formed any real bonds with his classmates, as well as Taryn admitting she's been overwhelmed since Levi left. In the beginning, Blue and Simone's storyline feels like a version of what we've seen before. Characters arguing about Meredith's house is about as classic Grey's Anatomy as the show gets. But it gets a bit of added heft as well, with Simone making the great point that, as a woman, it's uncomfortable to wake up and find a strange man in your house. The storyline also provides a welcome opportunity to check in on how the characters are doing with Micah's departure. While Blue eventually agrees they can have Lucas move back in, the Grey's Anatomy episode can't resist a little predictability in the end, with Simone chickening out when Lucas starts talking about their future. Jules and Winston have become one of my favorite mentor-mentee pairings of the season, so I was happy to see them team up again this week. However, based on their scene on the roof, it sure seems like the show is taking them in a more personal direction, hinting at a possible romance. While I've enjoyed their professional chemistry, a romance feels pretty manufactured at this point, fueled by the issues both have had in their love lives. I also like seeing Jules single and focused on her career and friendships. Grey's Anatomy has a habit of dropping her in and out of relationships pretty quickly, and while I think her connection with Micah has been the deepest so far, that relationship loses some of its impact if she moves on this quickly. However, the show is also missing a good slow-burn romance right now, and Winston and Jules could wind up being a good fit for that.